One of the most appealing aspects of video games is that they can take you to a different world, allow you to be a completely different person, and experience endless possibilities. The sheer variety in video game genres always takes me by surprise. You could be a football player leading your team to the Super Bowl, a Fox-Man hybrid flying through space blasting away at enemy ships, a witch diving into the depths of hell to slay demons. You could even be a goose? Yeah, okay, a goose. So let's take a look at Untitled Goose Game and see if it's a honkin' good time. Untitled Goose Game was released on September 20th for the Switch and PC by four-person indie studio House. This was the team's second game, with the first being the very strange Push Me Pull You. Yet somehow, Untitled Goose Game is even more bizarre. The game stars this cute little white goose, whose sole mission is to terrorize the people of a quaint little village. He'll throw people's stuff in the lake, ruin their gardens, or simply scare the daylights out of them. That goose is out there. It can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse. And it will absolutely not stop, ever, until you're mildly inconvenienced. But it's an enormous amount of fun because you get to be the goose. I think everyone has a little lust for chaos in them, and this game gives you the power to unleash that desire onto unsuspecting people in the most petty ways possible. There are no levels per se, but the town is broken up into 4 sections, each containing townspeople to annoy. The goose can grab items with its beak, honk to frighten people, run for a quick getaway, or flap its wings for really no purpose other than some ultimate intimidation. The goose controls are responsive, but I will admit that running took me a minute to get used to, as it feels a bit loosey-goosey. All areas have a checklist of goals to complete. Some are as straightforward as taking a person's item, but they can become a little more complicated and force you to think outside the box sometimes. Or should I say inside the box, like when you have to enter the pub undetected. It is just so enjoyable and funny to be the goose. There are so many moments in this game where I was legitimately laughing out loud. Things never get too difficult, and you can't actually lose in this game. Villagers won't try to hurt the goose, but they may try to shoo him away or take their possessions back. I love how you can attack a specific situation in a multitude of different ways. Sometimes being sneaky is the way to go about it, or other times you can try to set up a distraction with one item, and as the townsperson is dealing with that, you go for your true objective. My favorite goals were the ones where you needed to trigger a specific event, like making the gardener hit his thumb with the hammer, or hitting the pub owner with a bucket. And of course the final goal, which puts the whole town on high alert trying to catch this goose. Untitled Goose Game is perfect for a relaxing afternoon, which is strange to say because you're actively making the people in the game's afternoon anything but relaxing. After completing the checklist in one area, it's on to the next area with a new group of villagers to irritate. There are some hidden goals here that are optional, and once you complete the final area, these will be revealed to you to give you some extra challenges. The gameplay is so simple and amusing, and the graphics mirror that sentiment. It has a minimalistic look, similar to Katamari Damacy, and I love it. Bright colors and nothing being too detailed. The people don't even have faces. But nevertheless, they're incredibly expressive, as they take the luchador method of telling the story with body language, which in turn makes everything more hilarious. And the goose is undeniably the best part. It waddles and moves like you'd expect a real goose to. The score here is also on the minimal side, with the only instrument being a lively piano. And oftentimes there's no music at all. But I like the approach that this takes, because when you hear that piano music start to swell, you know things are about to go down. It somehow gives you this great feeling of tension, similar to when you hear a guardian closing in on you in Breath of the Wild. And that's one of the main reasons I enjoyed my time with Untitled Goose Game. For how simple the overall idea is, the goals, the graphics, and sound all mesh together extremely well. The one and only drawback I can find with this game is that yes, it is a very short playthrough. It only took a little more than an hour to beat, but around 3 hours to 100% the checklist. But I don't find that to be an actual issue, because some of my favorite games of all time can be beaten in the same amount of time or even less. I think it comes down to the replayability factor, which this has in spades. Though it is a bit on the pricier side compared to other more robust indie games, coming in at $20. And while I would have liked some more challenges or areas, I think I'd rather be left wanting more than to have a goose overstay its welcome. Untitled Goose Game is inventive, unusual, and just plain fun. This is a game that's definitely worth your time and one I'd recommend to everybody, especially to those who take a little pleasure from being a pest from time to time. The only downside for some people may be the price point given the game's length. But if that's a concern for you, then I'd say wait for a sale. I picked it up for $15 and that seems like the sweet spot. Either way, it's a must play and one I'll be going back to for multiple playthroughs. Have any of you guys played Untitled Goose Game? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll see you next time, and remember, it's all fun and games. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked that video, check out this video about why it pays to be a patient gamer. And if you like It's All Fun and Games, then make sure to subscribe. Thanks again.